Come you by the salmon fishing, come you by the ropery, saw you my dear sailor laddie sailing on the raging sea. I come by the salmon fishing, I come by the ropery, I saw your dear sailor laddie sailing on the deep blue sea. Come you by the salmon fishing, come you by the ropery, join us at the salmon Bothy every Friday virtually.
Boo! Welcome to another virtual Folk at the Salmon Bothy. I'm Joan of Arc, also known as Debbie Taylor, and I hope I didn't scare you too much there. Having said that, I must warn you though that much of the first half of tonight's wee show will take a Halloween theme, so there will be a few more frights. In the second half we'll sample the delights of autumn and also relive some of the highlights of the special guests who have contributed to our Friday evening shows. But for the time being, we'll start with a couple of acts celebrating the current weekend, which is Guy Fawkes weekend. Beginning with a little song I wrote and recorded earlier on the theme of fireworks displays. Well, this is Guy Fawkes weekend, the time of year when there would normally be a lot of fireworks displays taking place. Although imagine this year in the circumstances they probably won't be taking place, or at least not on the same scale as usual. So I thought I'd cheer you up by putting on my luminous necklace and singing you a little song I've written about my experiences and non-experiences of fireworks displays over the years. It's called Fountains of Gold. As a child I got excited by the loud bangs from afar. I begged to join the party, but we didn't have a car. Friends would share their stories of the thrilling sights they saw, while I'd watch for those few rockets that could clear the building's top. Stars big and bright, lighting up the night, fountains of gold for our eyes to behold. What little I could see, it seemed like magic then to me, and I longed to be there, where those white thought I'd go out with a bang. Thank you. Well, someone who did get to go to a firework display as a child is young Albert. Although, as usual, it all ended in a misadventure. Here to tell the story of what happened is the club's own Paul Mudie.
Hello again, and welcome to another of Albert's adventures. And seeing as it's fireworks weekend, I thought I'd tell you about when he went to a bonfire. And this one's by Richard Gillian. On bonfire night, the Ramsbottoms gave Albert a sparkler to wave. He'd asked for a great roaring rocket, but they thought that their money they'd save. They didn't think much at bonfire. The flames they was fiddling and small. No clothes smoking or whiskers singeing. In fact, nothing to laugh at all. There was no great square wedge of parking, no toffee that sticks in your hair, no tatties to roast in thembers, and they'd gone without their tea to get there. But they didn't think much at Guy neither. Albert could have done better in sen. Wives had put out their husbands' old suits, but the men went and brought them back in again. But the attraction of the occasion on the posters all stuck up on high was the greatest display of fireworks that Standard of Huddersfield could supply. They'd have 20 huge Roman candles, if Anglican vicar didn't mind, and Catherine wheels size of millstones, one per man, per woman, per child. There'd be rockets that flew on straight upwards for over a quarter of a mile, and burst with such wondrous magic as would make even a misery smile. But before the display could be viewed like a contest, they said that there'd be, and all lads and lasses were sparklers, had to make a pattern in there. Some spelt their names or drew circles, or waved them to left and to right. But Albert, he dreamt of a rocket that would fly right up into the night. So he pulled back his arm with a will like, half singeing his short back and sides, and flung his sparkler in a spinning parabola, like one of them newfangled rides. It was a fair attempt at a rocket, and a sight for each patron to see, but Albert had given no thought for the end of its trajectory. It were in an old wooden container, with a tarpaulin stretched up top. But when sparkler landed on it, that's not where the red hot wire stopped. That display were meant to be a big un. To last best part of an hour. Well, best part of an hour were just 3 minutes, and the whole lot went up with a rower. The rockets were meant to go 400 yards up and explode into starlight and ash. But many a folk found for the first time in their lives that they were good at the 400-yard dash. And Roman candles went off with such colours like you've never heard or seen, and some of them headed for vicar, who legged it over the town green. But Catherine wheels were what you might call a kind of piece of the resistance, which made Father Brown travel length of town without any motorised assistance. That lads and lasses all started to cheer, while their parents dived under cover. They clapped Albert on back and shook both his hands, as if he were some long lost brother. Now, news of this firework fiasco travelled to neighbouring places, about as fast as fireworks themselves, and some of the fleeing spectators. When after a time the adults emerged, looking shaken and stirred somewhat rotten, they looked round about and then looked daggers drawn at Mr. and Mrs. Ramsbottom. And many a child got a clip round the ear for giving young Albert a claim. They said, thank the Lord that family concerned had got no more daft kids to their name. The folks all went home to their suppers, some saying see you next year, and although Albert still thought it best display yet, he went home with a flea in his ear. Oh well, keep you safe, both the fireworks and virus, and we'll see you next time.
Oh goodness, I guess that's why some people are a bit nervous with fireworks. Thank you, Paul, for that story. Now, let's go back a few days to Halloween. To start this section of the evening, here is a short and sweet, or should I say short and spooky, number from the Spiers family.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the House of Spierses. Did you ever stop to think as the world goes by, eventually we all must die? They wrap you up in a long white shell, and they cover you and smother you in lots of dirt. And the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out. They crawl in thin and they crawl out stout. They bring their friends and their friends' friends too. And oh, what the hell of a mess they make of you.
Wow, chilling. And I love Emma's outfit very much. We'll hear a bit more from the Spiers family later. In the meantime, here's a ghost with a guitar who looks a little bit like Ronan Fitzsimons.
I see a bad moon rising. I see trouble on the way. I see earthquakes and lightning. I see bad town today. Don't go around tonight, westbound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. I hear the hurricanes are blowing. I know the end is coming soon. I hear the rivers overflowing. I hear the voice of a wreckage and ruin. Don't go around tonight, westbound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. Hope you got your things together. Hope you are quite prepared to die. Looks like we're in for nasty weather. One eye is taken for an eye. Don't go around tonight, westbound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. I see a bad moon rising. I see trouble on the way. I see earthquakes and lightning. I see bad town today. Don't go around tonight, westbound and take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. Don't go around tonight, westbound and take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. There's a bad moon on the rise. There's a bad moon on the rise.
Thank you, Ronan, and we'll see a little bit more of you later as well. Now, I have been informed that there have been some very strange happenings down in Dundee and Glasgow, so please take care if you're travelling. Club regular Bob Sharp has been down that way, and this is the result.
A deedman seldom walks, aye, and he very rarely talks. It's not very often you'll find him hanging around. Ah, but I'm a refugee from a graveyard in Dundee, and I've come to haunt the hooses in Glasgow too. Ooh, come to haunt the hooses in Glasgow too. Well, the reason I arose was to get myself some clothes, for it really gets hell of a cold below the ground. Then I whispered to myself, ach, I think I might as well hang around for a wee while and have some fun. Ooh, hang around for a wee while and have some fun. Well, a man put out his light on a cold and wintry night. I showed him one of my eyes and slapped his heat. He went, oh, and I said, boo. He said, who the hell are you? I said, dinna be feared, I'm only a manny that's deed. Ooh, dinna be feared, I'm only a manny that's deed. Well, the fella knelt and prayed, and this was what he said. Oh, why in the name of God are you picked on me? Oh, well, I pulled away the rug, and I scalped him on the lug. The reason I says I'll very soon let you see. The reason I says I'll very soon let you see. Well, he called the police in, so I battered him on the chin. The police turned around and blamed me friend. Oh, well, they marched him off to jail. He'll be there for quite a while, but I'll see nobody tax a single end. Ooh, I'll see nobody tax a single end. Well, the police thought him daft, and a lot of people laughed when the fella says a ghost was in his house. But what the fellow says was true, and I might be visiting you. So just remember I'm still on the loose. Ooh, just remember I'm still on the loose.
Excellent, thank you, Bob. I really love this video. Now for a well-loved singer and fantastic songwriter from the club, who will perform, I think, his own well-thought-out story that he's made into a song. It is, of course, Mike Blackburn and his song Back in the Morn.
One night in my dozing, I heard a rat-tat, so I woke with a start to see what it could be. And there at the window in his coxswain's hat was my dearest and best, safely home from the sea. The moon, it was bright and no clouds were out yet, and the sun had been shining all through the day. So I thought it was strange that my love, he was wet, when I lifted the window to hear his voice say, I will come for you, sweetheart, whatever befalls. There's no keeping me from you, not shipwrecks or squalls. I will lie here tonight in the arms of my love and go back in the morn to the sea. Then he kissed and caressed me and lay me to bed, and I cared not the wet or the taste of the tide. And he loved like a starving man suddenly fed, with a hunger and passion that can't be denied. His kisses were tender, his arms held me tight, and he made me rejoice he was back from the main. And he kept me awake till the sun's early light. I was breathless and happy when he said again, oh, I would come for you, sweetheart, whatever befalls. There's no keeping me from you, not shipwrecks or squalls. I have laid here tonight in the arms of my love, and I'll go back with the doe morn to the sea. I got out of the bed, his breakfast to make, and I prayed as I cooked for a daughter or a son. But when I returned with the food on a plate, I discovered my man and his clothes had all gone. I sat on the bed and I started to weep, that my lover could play such a trick on his wife. Then as if from a distance he started to speak, the last time I heard him in this mortal life. Oh, I came for you, sweetheart, whatever befell, and naught kept me from you, not heaven nor hell. I lay here last night in the arms of my love. Now I'm back in the morn to the sea. The tidings returned from the broad Spanish main that the ship had been lost in a storm with all hands, and her masts and her spars will be seen not again, and my darling returned never more to the land. But 40 weeks later our sonny was born. Though the neighbours all cursed me, I bore all the shame. And he'll not be a sailor nor lost in a storm, though he carries his likeness and bearing and name. But my darling came for me, whatever befell, and nothing could stay him, not ocean nor swell. He lay in my arms and gave me a son, then went back in the morn to the sea.
Thank you, Mike. Top-class songwriting as usual. Now for a song by Jim Reid that I believe was based on a poem by Violet Jacob that she wrote on hearing the news of the death of her son at the Battle of the Somme. It is doubly relevant for the time of year, as it's not only set around Halloween, but we also have Remembrance Day coming up this month. Here is club regular Bill Gray to perform this poignant song.
Halloween, the late Jim Reid. The tatty lifting's nearly through, the plume while the barley grew, and after dark around Elka Stark, you'll hear geysers and their tail, clooing the door we run so keel, and fin I hear the screeks and skirls, and lasses with their drooked curls, bobbing for apples I the pale. The Bothy fire's loping head, and you'd horsemen's cast a set, flecked all the lamb were by the blaze, they all in stood it kept their place. I canna thought to see it yet, but in all folks tales are wrecked, and ghosts come home on Hallow neck. Oh friend, what would I give to feel you rack your hand to me between the dark and coral land? A one France across the wave, the wheelers burn on every grave, and you and me, the lousy scene, you'll maybe hear Halloween, gone water lying with the lake. They'll drink and laugh and sing and dance, and ploys and kisses get their chance. But Blackburn, man, the place I see, as far your Alcast used to be, and the lads so Halloween in France, and the lads so Halloween in France. Thanks for watching, folks, and please stay safe.
Thank you, Bill. That was a lovely rendition. We'll shortly be taking a 5-minute break to allow you to recharge your glasses or mugs, visit the bathroom and so on. But to take us there, we'll finish our Halloween celebration with a song about a ghost, namely The Ghost of Tom Joad by Bruce Springsteen, and sung by Paul Kersley. The video was put together by our fantastic sound man Graham Legg. See you shortly.
Woody Guthrie, he did many things in his life, and amongst it he spoke out about the plight of the farmers that were displaced by the dust storms that took place back in the 1940s. John Steinbeck wrote a book about the same subject called The Grapes of Wrath, and that centred on the Joad family, and a film was made where Henry Fonda, he played the role of Tom Joad. This is a Bruce Springsteen song, and it's called The Ghost of Tom Joad. Men walking on the railroad tracks, going someplace and there's no turning back. Highway patrol choppers coming up over the ridge, soup on a campfire under the bridge, shelter line stretching round the corner. Welcome to the new world order, sleeping in cars in the southwest. No home, no job, no peace, no rest. How is alive tonight? No one's kidding nobody about where it goes. Me, I'm sitting on here on the campfire light, searching for the ghost of Tom Joad. Pulls a prayer book out of his sleeping bag, preacher lights up a bird and takes a drag, waiting for the last shall be first and the first shall be last, in a cardboard box in the underpass. You got a one-way ticket to the promised land, got a hole in your belly and a gun in your hand, sleeping on a pillow of solid rock, bathing in the city equinox, and the highways are alive tonight. No one's kidding nobody about where it goes. And I'm sitting down here on the campfire light, waiting on the ghost of Tom Jones. Now Tom says, Ma, wherever there's a cop beating a guy, or a hungry newborn baby crying, fight against the blood and hatred in the air. Look for me, Ma, I'll be there. Someone's searching for a place to stand, decent job or a helping hand. Someone's struggling to be free. Look in their eyes, Ma, you'll find me. Highways alive tonight. No one's kidding nobody about where it goes. Oh, I'm sitting on here on the campfire light, searching for the ghost of Tom Jones. Wherever there's a cop beating a guy, or a hungry newborn baby crying, fight against the blood and hatred in the air. Look for me, Ma, I'll be there. Someone's searching for a place to stand, decent job or a helping hand. Someone's struggling to be free. Look in their eyes, Ma, you'll find me. Highways alive tonight. No one's kidding nobody about where it goes. Sitting on here in the campfire light, me and the ghost of old Tom Jones.
spooky stuff in the first half hasn't frightened too many people away. Joan's now gone back to her own century to fight in the siege of Orleans, so it's just me now being myself. Anyway, it's time to move on now to a few performances on the theme of autumn. As promised earlier, here's another song from the Spiers family. This is my favourite Bothy ballad, although this version is completely different from the version I learned from the singing of Janet Russell. I'm talking of course about Band of Shearers, and Tom will tell you a bit more about the song.
Hello again. This one's called The Band of Shearers, and it's just a happy wee harvest song. When I first heard it, and I'm sure a lot of folk were the same, they thought it was a song about shearing sheep. Well, it's nae, it's a song about shearing barley. So here you go.
Thank you very much, Tom, Maggie and Emma. Now for another ballad for your very own Oraloon Dougie Hay. He's hain a richt hally racket after the hearst by the sound o' it at McGinty's meal and ale.
No, Noddy, for your idea, it's Oraloon and a go again. Excuse the background there, I've ripped out a wall and there's wires hanging there, I'm putting a bit of a new kitchen in, so there we go. But anyway, this time of year, the farmers are fine pleased the crops in and the bales are already in the park. We'll get them in and keep dry for the winter. But at this time of the year, I celebrate the success of the hearst and it's called a meal and ale. For the farm tunes round about go together and a wee shindig and a wee drum and a get together in a song. So here it is, this is the McGinty's meal and ale. I'm sure you all can the chorus, so here we go. This is nae a tale of love, nor it's nae a tale of money. Faith, it's nothing very pitiful, it's nothing very funny. For there's Highland Scotch, there's Lowland Scotch, there's butterscotch and honey. If there's none of them for a', there's a mixture o' the three. Now there's nae a word of beef brows, sowing, sooty bannocks, nor pancakes, pies, eggs, for them with dainty stomachs. for it's a' about a meal and ale that happened at Balmanock's at McGinty's meal and ale, for the pig had on the spree. They were howling in the kitchen like a caravan at Tinky's Eye, and some were playing ping-pong and others tiddly-winkies. They were up the how and down the how, you never saw sick jinkies as McGinty's meal and ale, for the pig had on the spree. Now McGinty's pig had broken loose and went up to the lobby, for it opened shoved the pantry door and come upon the toady. And it took right kindly to the stuff, like ony human body at McGinty's meal and ale, for the pig had on the spree. Miss McGinty, she could be in the house, the way was dark and crooked, she could heelst her gowdy o'er the pig, for had she never looked. And she let out a scarrel, with a paralysed that jucket at McGinty's meal and ale, for the pig had on the spree. They were howling in the kitchen like a caravan at Tinky's Eye, and some were playing ping-pong and others tiddly-winkies. They were up the how and down the how, you never saw sick jinkies as McGinty's meal and ale, for the pig had on the spree. Well, Johnny Murphy, he got after her, and o'er the pig was leaping, for he trumpet on an usher that was sitting fu a dreeping. Well, he fell down and peeled his croon, and couldna hunt for greeting at McGinty's meal and ale, for the pig had on the spree. Syne the pantry shelves come rickling down, and he was lying kerning on soft soap pies meal, corn flour and yarnin. Like a golacham trickle, but McGinty's wife was garnin at the sauce upon her kitchy fleer, and that she'd let him ken. They were howling in the kitchen like a caravan at Tinky's Eye, and some were playing ping-pong and others tiddly-winkies. They were up the how and down the how, you never saw sick jinkies as McGinty's meal and ale, for the pig had on the spree. Syne they argued skirling to the door, and found that it was Tuggett. Aye, it held the fester, aye, the mare they rugged. Till McGinty roared to bring an axe, he wouldna be humbugged, no nor look at in his ain house, and that he'd let him see. Syne the wife come trailing wi' an axe, and through the bar was Hackett aye, and open flew the door at teens, as sair as they were pocket. And all the crew come rumbling out like tatties frae a bucket at McGinty's meal and ale, for the pig had on the spree. They were howling in the kitchen like a caravan at Tinky's Eye, some were playing ping-pong and others tiddly-winkies. They were up the how and down the how, you never saw sick jinkies as McGinty's meal and ale, for the pig had on the spree. Well, they had sparkles, they had tatty choppers, faith they warna joking, fin they said they'd gar the pig claw, for he was never yoking. But by this time the lad was fou and didna gie a dokin at McGinty's meal and ale, for the pig had on the spree. Now there's eely pigs and geely pigs and pigs for hood and butter, but McGinty's pig was roaring fou and rumbling in the gutter. Till McGinty and his foreman trailed him out upon a shutter at McGinty's meal and ale, for the pig had on the spree. They were howling in the kitchen like a caravan at Tinky's Eye, some were playing a ping-pong and others tiddly-winkies. They were up the how and down the how, you never saw sick jinkies as McGinty's meal and ale, for the pig had on the spree. Miss McGinty took the thing to heart and hid it in her closet, and they clarted Johnny Murphy's heed wi' turpentine and roset. Syne they harled him wi' meal and ale, you really would suppose it, he had sleepit in the mason stroch and risen for the spree. Now we're weary o' the barley bree, we're weary o' the weather aye, for cacher and mon dubs and drink, it gangs nae well together. But there's little doubt McGinty's pig is looking for another o' McGinty's meal and ales, so's he'll get back on the spree. They were howling in the kitchen like a caravan at Tinky's Eye, some were playing ping-pong and others tiddly-winkies. They were up the how and down the how. You never saw sick jinkies as McGinty's meal and ale, for the pig get on the spree. There we go, now that was McGinty's pig. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you, Dougie. That was awful good. Now, here's the second performance of the evening by club regular Ronan Fitzsimons. This time he's singing about the autumn in October Winds.
Hey, how are you everyone? I hope you're all fine. As we're well into October now and autumn, I thought I'd do this wee song. It's called October Winds. It's a nice wee lullaby. It goes like this. The October winds lament around the castle of Dromore, yet peace is in her lofty halls, my love and treasure store. Though autumn leaves may droop and die, a bud of spring are you sing. Hush-a-by-loo, la-loo, lo-lan, hush-a-by-loo, la-lo. Bring no ill will to hinder us, my helpless babe and me. Dread spirits of the Blackwater banks, Clan Owen's wild banshee, and Holy Mary pitying us in heaven for grace doth sing. Hush-a-by-loo, la-loo, lo-lan, hush-a-by-loo, la-lo. Take time to try my ray of hope in the garden of Dromore. Take heed, young eaglet, till thy wings are feathered fit to soar. A little rest and then the world is full of work to do. Sing, hush-a-by-loo, la-loo, lo-lan, hush-a-by-loo, lo-lan. Sing, hush-a-by-loo, la-loo, lo-lan, hush-a-by-loo, la-lo. Cheers, thanks everybody.
Thank you very much, Ronan. The hat and scarf really bring out the theme, and it was you that gave me this idea. Anyway, it's time for a tune on the recorder now from Debbie Mudie. It's called Llanelli Valley, which I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. I believe this is somewhere in Wales. I confess I've never been there, but I'm sure it's very beautiful in autumn or at any time of year.
Hi folks, Debbie here, back to Welsh I'm afraid. So this time we've got Llanelli Valley, which is a place in Wales which is very beautiful, and I remember my mum and dad taking me there when I was a little girl. Anyway, take care, see you again, bye.
lovely, Debbie, thank you. Well, it's time now for a song from the fantastic singing of Alyson MacConnachie, accompanied by her husband Neil on guitar. It's a cheeky little song called Twice Daily that starts at the haytime.
Okay.
When I was a lad, I was so glad to go out in the daytime, with me fork and a bottle and a cork to help out in the haytime. Tossing hay, one fine day, I met young Lucy Bailey, and I said, my dear, are you often here? She said, yes sir, twice daily. Well, we had such fun in the summer sun. Lucy was so thrilling, so sweet and pure that I wasn't sure if that girl was a willin'. Until one day among the hay we was working gaily, when she ups and slips and her garters ripped, and I went there twice daily. Did-a-rum-doo-dee, did-a-rum-doo-da, did-a-rum-da-doo-doo, randy, did-a-ri-doo-dee, did-a-ri-doo-da, did-a-ri-doo-dee, twice daily. While Lucy's dad, he was very mad, he chased me round the hay barn. He said, your son, now you've had your fun, the time has come to pay now. The girl you wed, the old man said, as he waved his shotgun gaily. If you don't, he said, where I'll put the lead, you won't sit there twice daily. So the very next day in the month of May, we held a ceremony, and we paid off the vicar with a gallon of liquor, and we rode to church on a pony. To Lucy's joy, we had a boy, what a little darling. He's round and fat as a Cheshire cat, as perky as a starling. Did-a-rum-doo-dee, did-a-rum-doo-da, did-a-rum-da-doo-doo, randy, did-a-ri-doo-dee, did-a-ri-doo-da, did-a-ri-doo-dee, twice daily. Well, now we're old, our story's told, 40 years together, though we often stray where we toss the hay in that old fine summer weather. Well, kids, we've got 10 or more, we goes on quite gaily, though I'm old and grey when I've got me way, I still go there twice daily. Did-a-rum-doo-dee, did-a-rum-doo-da, did-a-rum-da-doo-doo, randy, did-a-ri-doo-dee, did-a-ri-doo-da, did-a-ri-doo-dee, twice daily. Did-a-rum-doo-dee, did-a-rum-doo-da, did-a-rum-da-doo-doo, randy, did-a-ri-doo-dee, did-a-ri-doo-da, did-a-ri-doo-dee, twice daily.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Alyson and Neil. Now, the last few performances tonight are from a selection of special guests who have contributed videos to the club. The first of these is a duo that I had not heard before until I saw their videos that they'd sent in for the club, but I knew right away that they deserved to be shown. According to their Facebook page, they're an Anglo-German internationally touring duo who have been known to leave audiences spellbound. And I'm sure they will have exactly the same effect on all of you who are watching. They are Paul Walker and Karen Pfeiffer, and this is the song Banks of the Lee.
Where two lovers meet down beside the green bower, where two lovers meet beneath the green tree, where Mary, fond Mary, was declaring to her true love, you have stolen my young heart from the banks of the Lee. I loved her very dearly, most truly and sincerely. There is no one in this world I love more than she. Every bush and every bower, every wild Irish flower reminds the banks of the Lee. Don't go out late at night, love, to the moorlands, my Mary. Don't go out late at night, love, to the moorlands from me. Huhalita was an ocean when we parted by the ocean, that we were forever parted from the banks of the Lee. Our poem, I love some roses, some wild Irish roses. Our poem, I love some roses, the fairest ever seen. And I lay them by the graveside of my poor dear darling Mary, in that cold and silent graveyard where she lies beneath the dew. Oh, I loved her very dearly, most truly and sincerely. There is no one in this world I love more than she. Every bush and every bower, every wild Irish flower reminds me of my Mary by the banks of the Lee.
That was fantastic. Thank you, Paul and Karen, for sending us your videos. Now for another duo that I first heard earlier this year when they appeared on one of the first Club's online Friday shows. Elsa McTaggart and Gary Lister have become one of the acts whose live streams I've been watching regularly, and I've been amazed at just how many musical styles they excel at and how many instruments Elsa plays. They've just released a fantastic CD featuring tunes sponsored by friends and fans, and the tune you're about to hear is on the CD. Here are Elsa and Gary performing Ellie Lilla's Lullaby.
Hello there, folks, at the Salmon Bothy. Elsa here.
Gary here.
On the Isle of Lewis, in the end room, with a green screen that we haven't got the hang of yet, but
No.
we've decided that we really quite like green. So we're just working away with it. I hope it doesn't... but grass is good for the eye.
Yes.
Good natural colour. Just think you're looking at spring grass with the sun shining through it. Right, we have a tune for you. I've been writing a new album this summer. It's all kind of come about through lockdown, and one of the tunes I was asked to write was a lullaby. It's called Ellie Lilla's Lullaby. It's rather nice, and it's kind of the theme behind it is a mother or a close relative with their newborn baby sitting in the rocking chair by the fire, and they're just kind of crooning this wee lilting tune to it as they rock it to sleep. Rock it to sleep. It sounds unsleepy, doesn't it? lullaby. I hope you're all well, by the way. Kind of still seems a bit weird, you over there and us over here. But I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much. And bye until the next one.
Amazing, Elsa and Gary. Thank you for your contribution to the club. Now we've come to the end of tonight's show, and I would just like to thank all those who have worked hard to put it together, especially Graham Legg, who's done most of the technical work. Also Bob Phillips, who persuaded club regulars to submit videos on the themes I proposed, and Mike and anybody else working behind the scenes that I'm not aware of. Well done, and thank you for your great work. Now, our final act this evening needs no introduction at this club, as this is where she started out. Having begun a career as a professional folk singer, this artist has recently enjoyed some great success. Not only has she been voted Performer of the Year at the Scots Language Awards, but she has also been named as a finalist in the BBC Scotland Young Traditional Musician of the Year competition for 2021. I am of course talking about Iona Fyfe, and here she is with her interpretation of Bonnie Glen Shee. Thank you all very much for watching. Take care and stay safe, and hopefully we will all meet again soon. Good night.
DC